he has spoken on the topics faith, family and freedom in Cuba, Belgium, Brazil, Congo, UK and all over the USA to crowds from 14 to 40,000. International leadership speaker, trainer and coach. Author of Learn to Raw Leadership, Attitude Hack, Live a More Excellent Life, 5 Battle Strategies of a Victorious Warrior. 2021 President's Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Founding partner of the John Maxwell team. Toastmaster International Speech Competition semi-finalist. Founder of Tell It Like It Is TV, ThatGuyRocks.com and ThatGuySpeaks.com. Creator of Story Power TV, Transforming Grace TV, and Leading Leaders Podcast. Producer of 4 TV programs and podcasts for Liftable TV and World Trumpet Television as well as multiple social media channels. Please help me welcome J. Loren Norris.
As we sat there at that conference table with the billionaire in blue jeans and his top advisor turned to my friend, my CEO, and he said, "So, tell me of a time when you failed." And my friend just kind of stared at him like a deer in the headlights. And he said, "I can't think of one." He said, "Okay, tell me a time when you were wrong." And after a couple of minutes passed, he said, I can't think of one of those either." That's what I want to talk about in this episode of Leading Leaders. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom. I'm J. Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. And I can tell you there are a whole lot of leaders who have found success after success after success. And some of them, the reason they found such an incredible string of successes is because they really are good at what they do. They found the right lane. They're living their assignment. They know what they're made for, and they have applied everything into getting there. The right degree program, the right circle of friends, the right opportunities came along at exactly the right time, and they were ready for the opportunity when it came. There are a lot of people, on the other hand, who have that success because, well, like my friend John Maxwell says in his book, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And you learn from failure, and you learn from making mistakes, and you learn from people telling you, "I disagree." And I can tell you, I have friends that I've worked with. We were friends before we worked together, then we were friends after we worked together. But while we worked together, I remember one particular occasion, we were both so vehemently argumentative with each other. Someone actually said, "You two fight like a married couple." But we'd go play racquetball together. We'd hang out together. We'd have lunch together. We'd hang out at each other's houses on weekends. He would come to town and visit and hang out at my house. And we had no issue with that. We had a great relationship, but we also didn't cut each other any slack. We were very headstrong about what our ideas were, and we didn't always agree on those ideas. Now, perhaps we could have been better at displaying those disagreements in public the way that we did. But personally, experientially, disagreement makes you stronger. Disagreement is going to do one of two things. It's either going to challenge you to ask, why do you believe what you do, the way that you do, and how do you know that it's true? Or it's going to solidify that what you believe is true, because the more you listen to the people who disagree with you, the more you realize there's something missing there. Now, we know because our world has umpteen types of religious ideologies, political ideologies, social, cultural ideologies. The way that people, hang the toilet paper in the bathroom, whether it goes out the front or it goes out the back, is an argument that leads to big fights in some marriages and in some homes. In some places in the world, they don't even use it. And then, who's ever figured out the 3 shells thing? I don't know. But see, those are cultural disagreements, arguments, differences. The challenge for the leader who finds himself in an echo chamber surrounded by, for lack of a better term, yes men, We could say yes women or yes others, yes people. We'll call them yes people. The people who agree with everything you say. You tell them that it's 8 o'clock and they're like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. He said it was 8 o'clock. She said it was 8 o'clock. It must be 8 o'clock, even if it's 2 in the afternoon. See, that kind of agreement, that does nothing. Oh, it might create a whole lot of fans and followers on your social media. It might mean that you have the sway of the people for the moment that whatever you say, they agree with it and they celebrate it and they're all in. But you have to wonder sometimes if that level of their all-in-ness is by itself a manipulation. Are they allowing you to be the leader for the moment because, well, somebody's got to take the first round. Somebody's got to step on the landmine. Somebody's got to get hit by the bus. Go ahead. We'll let it be you. Lead away, dear friend. You're spectacular. You're awesome. You're wonderful. See, I think if you find yourself in a place where everyone agrees with everything that you say, every word that comes out of your mouth, every idea that floats between your ears, every action that you take, every decision that you make, if every one of your peers and every one of the people you lead and every one of the people you report to all agree 100% on everything that you say, you, my friend, should stop and take stock. Start looking around corners for flying buses that are coming at you, for landmines that are going to pop up. They may be social, they may be political, they may be career, they may be industrial. And by that I mean in the industry that you're in, things are changing or things are about to change. And can you imagine having been the head of, I don't know, say a big tobacco company? When the executive orders started coming down and the Surgeon General warning started appearing on packaging, now when you walk into a convenience store, there's a sign on the outside of the door that says, law requires. There is no such thing as a safe cigarette. Well, that's not really good branding. That's really hard marketing. If your clients, your customer, your consumer is not already addicted beyond measure, where they can't even feel like they make a choice about smoking a cigarette or not, everything in the world is against you. How would you like to be the head of one of those companies like Philip Morris? How would you like to be the one that they put out there as a target and said, it's your fault, you caused this, you did it? The same happened with the barbiturates, and what was the most recent one? Everybody was hooked on the drugs that were supposedly making their life better, and now we've got an entire generation of people, especially in the southeast of the United States. It's really odd that that's where it happened. They're all hooked on these over-the-counter prescription drugs. Their opioids have taken over. And well, the company that created them, the company that sells the most of them, they're a target. And who do they point to? Be that CEO guy, be that founder, be that leader. Yep, that's the one. Nobody else is complicit, right? Well, of course they are. Of course they are. And at some point, they were all yes people. They were the people who agreed with, applauded, poured accolades at the feet of. You know, one of the most recognized historical figures of all time. It's not Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, by the way. It's this dude named Jesus. In a period of 7 days, at the beginning of 1 week, he came into town riding on a donkey. And the entire city stopped what they were doing and threw palm fronds on the ground. They'd be like throwing roses on the ground in front of the king or the president or the pope or whomever. As he was coming into town, they all celebrated him. Our hero, his triumphal entry, look at him. He's coming back from battle. The world is at his feet. They all celebrated him, and by the end of the week, he was dead. Killed by the same people throwing the palm fronds on the ground. Go figure. But if you think leadership doesn't look just like that today, my friend, you're mistaken. And if the place where you lead, you have found yourself surrounded by people, yes, people, who love everything you say, they support every idea that you have, they encourage every word that comes out of your mouth, they believe every action that you have, you better be asking yourself, do they really believe it? Or are they just letting me believe they believe it? Are they just allowing me to be the leader because somebody's got to take the first shot? That head popping up over the hill, over the horizon. It's going to be the first one shot at. It's going to be the first target of a genuine enemy. If you haven't taken the time to surround yourself with people who support your ideas, but also bring in some of those who, well, you know off the blush, I don't even get along with this person. We don't have 10 ideas in common. There aren't 3 things that would give us enough conversation to finish a cup of coffee together without being diametrically opposed. There's an old phrase that says iron sharpens iron. My wife has a Fifi shirt. It says Phi, that's the atomic recognition of iron, F-E. So it says F-E-F-E, Fifi. She has a Fifi shirt. It says iron sharpens iron. If you're not surrounded by iron, hard-headed people who are solid in their own substance, who might disagree with your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, your words, if you're not surrounded by them, if you don't know who they are, get some. You don't have to like them. You don't have to become best friends with them. But you should at least, at a minimum, grab some of their books. I'm going to show you my book haul just from yesterday. I picked up, sadly, I didn't go to the used bookstore, although some of them look like they could be used because they've been on the shelf for that long. Makes me wonder. One of these is from 2014. This is Glenn Beck's The Eye of Moloch. I have never read that book. It is apparently a best-selling fiction thriller, so that should be interesting. Profiles in Courage. This one's about JFK. And this is the 50th anniversary of the Pulitzer Prize-winning classic of political integrity. That almost seems like postal in service, like an oxymoron to me, political integrity. I don't know, I haven't read the book yet. The Parasitic Mind by Gad Saad. I was really kind of curious when I picked this one up. It says he is known for one of the best-known intellectuals, public intellectuals, fighting the tyranny of political correctness. He's a professor of marketing. Marketing and political correctness, what have those to do with each other? A pioneer in the application of evolutionary psychology and consumer behavior. The name of the book is The Parasitic Mind. How Infectious Ideas Are Killing Common Sense. That one should be interesting. Ben Shapiro. Facts don't care about your feelings. It's quite a coined phrase. He's used it quite a bit. I'm really fascinated with the production of this book because everything else I see of Ben Shapiro is top-notch, top-notch, top-notch. And this is, it's a paperback with kind of an okay cover on it. Makes me wonder just how early that was written. And then we've got the Reverend Al Sharpton. Reverend Al Sharpton, Righteous Troublemakers. From what I know of Al Sharpton right now, I would say probably, well, let's see. Spike Lee, Michael Eric Dyson, Van Jones, and Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King III, have written the endorsements on the back of this book. That should be fascinating, but from what I know of Al Sharpton right now, not a big fan. Hopefully, in reading the book, I'll find some ideas that challenge the way I think and the why that I think, and maybe give me some new ones. And then, of course, the Circle Back was replaced by Circle Back Jen Psaki, was her kind of her coined phrase. Everybody knew she said, let me circle back to you on that. But now we have Corinne Jean-Pierre moving forward. Again, at first blush, probably not somebody who would sit down and have coffee with me, nor would I be deeply appreciative of the opportunity. But I will read the book. Why? Because I practice what I preach. I've got plenty of books over there that if people sat in my library here in my studio, they'd be like, you read that stuff? I do. Yeah. Because I'm pretty solid on my ideas and I know where I got them. And I know why I believe them. And the majority of those ideas and those thoughts and those notions I put to the test. I practiced them. Most of them work pretty well. Sometimes they don't. And sometimes I read an idea from somebody else and I think, okay, I disagree, but you make a good point. I mean, I can't argue with the data. I just disagree with the opinion. And that makes me wonder, how did I get the opinion that I have? Why is my opinion different given the facts? If the data is the same, I don't know, maybe Ben's right. The facts don't care about your feelings. Right? Is that possible? Is it possible that my feelings are making a decision that my facts disagree with? Yeah. Maybe it's possible that my behavior even is an indication of the feelings that I have based on old thoughts that I have that are based on improper data. See, when a leader finds themselves living in an echo chamber, a place where everyone agrees, everyone supports, everyone acknowledges, everyone offers accolades, everyone says, "You're the man, you got this, boss girl, go for it." I still wonder, where's the bus they're throwing me under? Or where's the target on my forehead that they're all hiding behind the corner, sheepishly waiting for me to be exposed and destroyed? And that's why they're pushing me forward. I mean, I guess it is possible to be such a superhero that you never do anything wrong, you've never failed, you've never made a mistake, you've never made a wrong statement. I believe there was a t-shirt years ago that said, "I once thought I made a mistake. I did not." That's oxymoron all by itself. But if you live in a world where everything seems to go your way every time, somebody has greased the tracks for you, someone has made the way for you, someone has made every hill a plain and every valley to rise up to meet your feet, if that's the case in your life and you've never faced the struggle of being wrong or failing at your attempts, then I'm sorry to say it, but life doesn't let most of us off that easy. The world, the universe, the people in it, the substance of creation all on its own will challenge you. You will be tripped up, maybe by your own ego, maybe by your own decisions. Maybe somebody will sabotage you and say, "No, I'm just not going to let you win. I just can't let you," there's crabs in that barrel. They will pull you back down, not because they want to win. They just can't tolerate the sight of you winning. So if everything has been roses and glory up to this point, word of caution, keep your eyes open. Chances are things are going to change. It's the nature of the universe we live in. Doesn't mean it has to. But you should be alert. You should be aware. And take the time sometime to pick up a book or five from people you don't agree with. People who will challenge the foundation of the ideas that you have. People that will question your own confirmation bias. Are you living in a world where you have recreated your own reality to be exactly the way you want it? And it's not in touch with the reality of the rest of the world. It's just kind of your own little space. See, political echo chambers, religious echo chambers, social and cultural echo chambers, they have a tendency to do that. It's enticing to live within the realm of your own Facebook group, so to speak, where everybody is there because you're their hero. Everybody is there because they're your fan. Everybody's there because they love what you do. It's also realistic to realize that when you spend 5 minutes on Twitter, you're going to see as many hatred comments, off-topic comments, rare, bizarre, unusual thoughts. And at some point, you're going to look and think, do people really think like that? How do they get through life thinking like that? If they really feel that way about their fellow man or woman, how do they just get up and have coffee in the morning? How do they not just explode? But if you find yourself so surrounded by people who never challenge your thoughts, who never challenge your ideas, who never have a little bit of pushback, then you could find yourself in trouble. My friend and I, sitting at that board table with the billionaire in blue jeans and his advisor, we made it through. We made it through the investment cycle. We made it into the launch of the company. We made it into the first, second, third morph of the launch of the company. And it was at about the fourth launch of the company, the fourth iteration. It was the same company, same principle, same concept. The question was the how will we facilitate it? Ironically, I left when it moved from print and radio, which I had experience with, having been a talk show host and having worked in print since I was in my teens. When it moved from those into television, I said, it's not my game. I don't know enough about it. And I bowed out and I moved on to something else. Ironic to be back where I'm at now, working with multiple networks and different levels, having spent 2 years working at a television network. Not the one that I helped to launch, a totally different one. But if you ask the same guy the question now, what have you failed at? It's a whole different set of answers. Of course, there's 30 years under the bridge since then. There's a whole lot of mistakes we both made since then. And oh yeah, he's another one of those guys that when we sit down together, it may be over a campfire, it may be waiting for the hogs to come out of the rough, it may just be meeting at the hardware store in town as we're passing through. We will have deep, passionate conversations in seconds. We can have a phone call that sounds like we haven't missed a beat, and it's been 10 years, 10 minutes, 2 days, 2 weeks, doesn't matter. Same conversation, right in the middle of the stream. Why? Because we don't live in echo chambers. We do listen to people who disagree with us. We do challenge our own thinkings. Fifi, iron sharpens iron. Jello pudding doesn't do so much for your iron, maybe it'll make it rust. But if you're a leader and you find yourself in a place where everyone agrees with you, there should be alarm bells going off in your head. If you find yourself in a place where every idea you have is applauded, alarm bells should be going off in your head. If you find yourself in a place where everyone at every level, your peers, those you lead, and those you report to, believe you hung the moon, alarm bells should be going off in your head. There's a false sense of success that comes for a leader who believes that everybody just sees how great I am. It doesn't matter if it happens in car racing or MMA or in the boardroom or on the platform or in front of the audience as you're singing your song. When you reach the place that you believe you can do no wrong, you already have done something wrong. You've listened to the yes people, and alarm bells should be going off in your head. Take the time to invest in finding those people, whether it's in a few good books or it's face-to-face, who will tell you your idea is stupid, it's crap. But make sure they're qualified. Make sure they're not just opinionated haters. They're people with good, solid ideas. Some of the people I disagree with the strongest have many more degrees than I do. And I only allow the value of their argument because I respect their accomplishments. I take to heart what they have to say that disagrees with me because I know it's not just an opinion. They've done their homework. They've looked deeply into it. You want to listen to some great conversations. Listen to some of the Russian philosophers in their conversations with Dr. Jordan Peterson. Listen to Sam Harris, an avowed atheist and cultural anarchist, basically, as he talks to Dr. Jordan Peterson. Some deep, rich conversations, some valid points on both sides. But if you're the leader who surrounded themselves with all the people that agree and only the people that agree, if you've bought into the theory, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated, alarm bells should be going off in your head right now. You may have a false sense of success created by the echo chamber you live in. Challenge it. Be a better leader than that. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.
Loren is a master teacher on storytelling, and I learned so much. I'm really going to have to sit down and go back through everything, and I think I might have to have some more coffees with Loren, but it was totally worth my time, and I really highly recommend it if you're looking to grow your ministry, grow your business, grow your career. Loren will serve you well.
Thank you.